What's up, people? Welcome to the session. How are you all doing? I hope that all of you guys are doing good and taking care of yourself. Welcome back. My name is Anup, and this is session number 3 of Electricity for CBSE 10 standard students. A very warm welcome. So, people, today we're going to be talking about the one and only, the one thing that is going to be actually the whole chapter is important. So yes, today we're going to be talking about series and resistors or resistance in series and parallel. What is the formula? What are the things that you need to remember? All of that is what I'm going to be saying. So make sure that you stay till the end. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe. Alright, so we shall get started, people, without wasting any time. So resistance in series and parallel is the question, is the topic for today. Now, in the last session, that is Ohm's law and resistance and factors affecting Ohm's law, we had actually seen everything that we need to know about Ohm's law and what exactly is resistance. So if you haven't watched that video yet, please make sure that you watch that before you watch this one, because only if you understand what is the resistance and what exactly is Ohm's law, you will be able to understand what I am going to be teaching today. Alright, so make sure that you watch the video as well. So guys, these are the topics that you've already done and dusted. We have done what is current, electric potential, Ohm's law, electric potential difference, resistance, and in today's session we'll be talking about resistance in series and parallel. Alright, so yeah guys, combination of resistance, series and parallel is what we're going to talk about. So without wasting any time, let's start. So here's the thing guys, a lot of you guys here might have seen, or for sure you would have seen, a mobile adapter or a laptop adapter. Now the whole point of having an adapter is because here's the thing guys, the voltage that you have or the voltage supply at home in India is around 230 volts. Now mobile phone, if you notice, cannot work at that high voltage and that high current. So in order to reduce the current in voltage that goes into an electric circuit like a mobile phone or a laptop, that is why we have an adapter. So the adapters are basically having or are inbuilt with some sort of resistors in order to provide the resistance so that the current and voltage can be reduced so that the device does not just burn up or gets affected in whatsoever manner. Alright, so that is the whole point of having an adapter. And that is done with the help of resistors. And again, what is a resistor? As you guys, I've told you already in the last session that resistors are nothing but electronic device that provides resistance in a circuit. And what is resistance? The obstruction offered to the flow of current. Now here's the thing guys, there are two ways to connect resistors. If I have two resistors, there are two ways to connect. One is called a series connection. In series connection, what you do is that you connect one resistor after another. So a resistor, I think you remember that I told you that the symbol that is used to represent a resistor is nothing but like zigzag lines that you have. That is what is your resistor. So imagine that there are two resistors. This here is my first resistor. This here is my second resistor. So one is connected after another. So this kind of connection is what is called a series connection. So you've connected it to a battery which is providing a potential difference of voltage of V, and the current flowing through the circuit, let's say, is I. Now tell me this guys, is the current flowing through R1 and R2 the same? Yes or no? Now one thing I'll tell you, there is something that is going on over here. There is something that is different. But let's start with the current. Do you think that the same current is flowing through it? Let's understand this with a very simple analogy. Imagine this guys, imagine on the highway you probably would have had these tolls, right? Imagine you have tolls. So look at this toll guys, imagine there is one toll. Now the toll here is a resistor, alright? So basically what happens is that it narrows the road. So basically what's happening is that all the cars are forced to go through a smaller path, because of which they have to slow down a little, right? The cars have to slow down. So that is what a resistor does as well. It basically slows down the current or the charge flowing through the conductor, right? So that's what the resistor does. Now imagine now three of those tollways are present one after the other. Now look at this guys, just imagine the red car or the green car. The same red car has to pass through the first toll, the second toll, as well as the third toll, right? Now those cars, let's say that they are charges, electric charges. Now, if I take those two resistors, don't you think that the same charge or the same current is passing through R1 as well as R2? Absolutely. So if you look at another example for the same, look at this. So there's a pump connected. The pump here is nothing but the battery, and those two, pipes where they have narrowed it. That is my resistance. Again, they are restricting the water flow. So if you look at the bubbles that is going through the water, the pipe, you see that the same bubble is passing through the first one as well as the second one. So in other words, guys, the current flowing through this in a series connection is going to remain the same. Current remains the same. So you see this I, so let's say the current flowing through R1 is I1 and the current flowing through R2 is I2. So here, because it is the same, you can say that I1 is equal to I2, which is equal to I. So in place of I1 and I2, you can write it as I itself. Simple as that. But here's the thing, guys. Even though the current is same, the voltage in the case of series connection is not going to be the same. The voltage is not the same. See, here's the thing, guys. This resistor R1 is connected to this point and this point. R2 is connected to this point again and also this point. Now let's say that this point is A, this is B, and this is C. So R1 is connected to A and B, whereas R2 is connected to B and C. So it is connected to two different points. So because of that, guys, the voltage across this point A and B for R1 will be different compared to the voltage across R2, which is nothing but V2. So the voltage across the two resistors would be different, but the current remains the same. So the voltage actually gets distributed. See, guys, the potential difference is applied by the battery. The battery is the one that is providing the potential difference. So for example, in this circuit, if I connect a 5-volt battery, that is a potential difference created inside the circuit, because that is the one creating the potential difference, right? So here what's happening is that the potential difference gets distributed. So what is happening is that if you write this as, I can write this as V1 is equal to VA minus VB. Why? Because V1 is what? Because it is connected to this point and this point, I can say that it is potential at this point. I'm finding out the potential difference right now. So potential difference is what? The potential at this point minus the potential at this point. So I can write it as VA minus VB. In the same way for V2, what can I write it as? V2 is equal to VB minus VC, because it is nothing, potential difference. Again, the potential difference is, in this case, is nothing but potential at B minus potential at C. Simple. So yes, guys, if you add them both up, what do you get? V1 plus V2 is equal to VA minus VB plus VB minus VC. So VB gets cancelled. So what will you get it as? VA minus VC. Now what is VA minus VC, people? It is nothing but this point and this point. In other words, when you check the potential difference in the case of series connection, it is getting distributed. So what is happening is that when you combine both of these, when you combine V1 and V2, it is nothing but potential at this point A and potential at this point C. Simple as that. Alright, I hope you're able to understand this, guys. So what you're doing is that you're just combining the voltage across the first resistor and the voltage across the second resistor, and you see that the voltage is nothing but, so if you look at it now, this 2 points is what you're getting. VA minus VC is what you get. Now what is VA minus VC? See, the battery is connected to this terminal and this terminal. The battery is basically connected to these 2 points itself. So whatever is the potential difference that you get is equal to the potential difference applied by the battery. Simple. So whatever is the potential difference applied by the battery, which is V, it will be equal to V1 plus V2, because it is getting distributed. The voltage is getting distributed, but the current remains the same in the case of series connection. Alright. So yeah, guys, current remains constant, voltage gets distributed. So once again, I is equal to I1 plus I2. I1 is equal to I2, but in the case of voltage, it is V1 plus V2 is equal to V, where V is nothing but the potential difference applied by the battery, and V1 and V2 are potential difference across R1, and V2 is the potential difference across R2. Simple. Alright guys, so yeah, again guys, we have already seen what is Ohm's law. We have seen that from Ohm's law we got the formula V is equal to I into R. We're going to be using that formula a lot more guys, so please do not ever forget that, because we're going to be using that over here also. So we got that V is equal to what? V is equal to V1 plus V2. So what is V1? V1 is nothing but I1 into R1, because V is equal to I into R. V2 is equal to what? I2 into R2. So I'm going to substitute that over here. So what will I get? V is equal to, instead of V1 I'll get it as I1 into R1, and V2 is nothing but I2 into R2. Now what is V? The total potential difference applied by the battery is equal to the total current flowing through the circuit, which is nothing but I, and the total resistance. So here's what I'm doing guys. I have two resistors right now connected in series, right? So let me just draw that in series. Now what I'm doing is that I am basically combining both of them and making it as one single resistor. So basically what I'm doing is that I'm combining these both resistors and making it as one single resistor, which I will call it as R equivalent. So I am basically combining them, and for example, imagine that I have two resistors, 2 and 2 ohm, both of them are 2 ohms resistors, alright? There's also 2 ohms, there's also 2 ohms. What I'm doing is that I'm combining both of them, I'm putting it as one single resistor. I'm just combining both of them and making it as one single. Rather than separating it into two different smaller ones, I'm combining them and making it as one single one. And here, that is what I'm writing. It is R equivalent. So the current flowing through it, the total current flowing through it, and the total resistance of the circuit. So V is equal to I into R equivalent. So I can write that over here. So I in IR equivalent is equal to I1 R1 plus I2 R2. I hope you can see the color. Let me just use a different color guys. I'll use yellow. So yeah, now we know that what? We know that I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I. So in place of I1 and I2, I can write it as I. So what will I get? We can just cancel it all out, right? Because it's all the same. So what will I get? R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2. And this, my friends, is the formula for resistance in series. In other words, in series connection, the equivalent resistance is equal to the sum of individual resistance. So whatever resistors you have, if you add them up, that will give you the equivalent resistance in series connection. Simple as that. And if you have n number of circuits, like n number of what to say, so resistors like that, so yeah, you can just add it up, or you can add it all up. So it'll be R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R4. How many number of resistors you are, Rn, you can just add them all up. Simple as that. Alright guys, so let's do a small little quiz, tiny little question, and then again come back to the topic. We'll understand about parallel connection. Here's the question: what is the equivalent resistance of two 10 ohm resistors in series? 5 ohms, 10 ohms, 20 ohms, or 30 ohms? Two equivalent resistors. So what is the formula guys? R equivalent is equal to what? R1 plus R2. Now what is R1 equal to 10? What is R2 equal to 10? Because there are two 10 ohm resistors, right? So how much is the total resistance? 20 ohms. Simple. Pacha question. That's all. Alright guys. Now let's understand about parallel connection. Now I hope everyone understood about series connection. Once again guys, the voltage across the two resistors will differ or will get distributed because they're connected to two different points, but current remains the same, right? And equivalent resistance is nothing but the sum of the individual resistors. Now let's talk about parallel connection. So guys, in parallel connection, what you have to understand is this: when you say parallel connection, you're connecting both the ends of the resistors. Now in the case of series connection, you connected one end of one resistor to the next end of the next resistor, but here you're connecting both the ends of the resistor, so it will be basically, you know, along each other's side. So this kind of connection is what is called as parallel connection. So here also, if you connect it to a battery, current flowing through it is I, voltage applied by the battery is nothing but V. Now look at this guys, look at R1 first. Now R1 is connected to this point. Let me use a different color for that once again. R1 is connected to this point and this point. Where is R2 connected to? R2 is also connected to A and B itself. So if the potential across R1 is V1, what will be the potential across R2? Which for now, let me call it as V2. What will be the potential? It will be the same. Because once again guys, look at the potential. Now here, the battery is again connected to which two points? A and B itself again. So whatever is the potential difference applied by the battery, it will be the same for R1, it will be the same for R2 as well. So in other words, V1 is equal to V2, which is equal to V. In the case of parallel connection, guys, it is just the opposite. The voltage remains the same. The potential at A minus potential at B. So VA minus VB is what you're going to get. And what is VA minus VB? Again, for V2 also it is VA minus VB itself. So which is nothing but V, because the battery is also connected to these 2 points. So the potential applied by the battery is also the same. So basically you're going to get it as VA minus VB itself for all the three. All right. So here, guys, the voltage remains the same, but the current gets distributed. Example. Again, let's go back to the toll booth. Now, in this case, let's say, guys, let's say that the toll booths are one along the side of another. All right. So parallel to one another. All right. Parallel to one another, one along the side of another. In this case, you see this, guys, more number of cars are flowing through it, and more importantly, it is not that one car is passing through all of the three ones, right? All the three booths, is there any car which is passing through all the three booths? No, either of the one booth they'll pass. So here's the thing, guys. If I go back to the same analogy of water also, you look at this, water particles are flowing through this. So you see that two resistors right now connected in parallel, and those tiny little tubes are nothing but the resistors here. So if you look at the water bubbles, some of them are going below and some of them are going above. So here's the thing, guys. In the case of parallel connection, the current gets distributed. And again, guys, once they reach this point, they're both meeting up again. Once they reach that point, both of them are meeting up again and they're combining. So current gets distributed in this case, but then the voltage remains. See this, it becomes I1 and I2. And again, once they reach B, again it will become I, because the current again merges together and then flows back into the battery. Simple as that. Alright, guys. So here, people, I can write this as what? I1 plus I2 is equal to I, because the current is getting distributed. So what is I1 and I2? That is, I1 is nothing but the current flowing through R1, and R2 is nothing but the I2 is nothing but the current flowing through R2. So it is the same current getting distributed. So I can write it as I is equal to I1 plus I2. Simple. So what is I, guys, from Ohm's law? V is equal to I into R. So what is I? I is equal to V by R. So I can write this as V1 by R1, that is voltage across the resistor 1, and divided by the resistor, plus V2 by R2, that is the voltage across the second resistor, is equal to V by R equivalent, the total voltage divided by the total resistance. So here also what I'm trying to do is that I am trying to simplify my circuit. I'm trying to simplify my circuit by combining them both, and I'll call that as R equivalent. So once again, guys, if you solve it, so we know that V is equal to what? V1 is equal to V2 is equal to V. So again, V gets cancelled. So I can write it as what? 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 is equal to 1 by R equivalent. So in the case of series connection, it was R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2. In the case of parallel connection, it will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So it will be the sum of reciprocal of the individual resistors. All right. So that is the thing about parallel connection. Now, one thing I want you to remember this, guys, is this. In parallel connection, the equivalent resistance that you get will be less compared to the individual resistance. So if you want to reduce the resistance, we would connect them in series. So in parallel. If you want to increase the resistance, however, you'll connect them in series. Alright, guys. When you want to decrease the resistance, you'll connect them in parallel. When you want to increase the resistance, you'll connect them in series. Simple as that. So again, guys, if you have n number of resistors like that, it'll be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3, so on and so forth. And if you have, again, R equivalent is equal to R by n for n number of resistors. All right. And that, my friends, is the topic for today. That's it. And yes, guys, if you want to learn all of these concepts in such fun manner, you can also enroll into the Vedanta Pro courses, which will help you in your journey of succeeding, in your journey of reaching the goal that you want. The link is given in the description. Let me tell you a couple of things that you need to know about this. So first thing, guys, you can take up the VIP challenge, which is nothing but the Vedantu's Improvement Promise. The Vedantu's Improvement Promise says that if you feel like your courses, after taking up the course at Vedanta, you feel like there's no improvement whatsoever, you can claim for the complete money back, 100% money back, without any questions asked. Now here's the thing, people. What are the advantages? Let me tell you that first. First of all, you have unlimited number of sessions. You can attend how many of the number of sessions you want. And yes, you'll have quizzes and you'll have a lot of fun as well. And these quizzes will also give you an opportunity to compete with your colleagues, to compete with your peers and understand what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And with that, guys, every single session is recorded. And the recordings are also such a way that you can actually interact while watching the replays. You can take the quizzes and check out the leaderboards while watching the replay as well. And yes, you can download all the notes. Everything's available. And also, guys, surprise, surprise, every single session will have not only the master teacher but also the class teacher who will ensure that all of your doubts are cleared inside the class itself. Unlimited doubt solving and on time, real time doubt solving right there and then. And yes, you'll have tests and assignments also. And with that, guys, lots and lots of micro courses as well. Lots and lots of micro courses. You have micro course of breathing exercise, from art school to singing class to pretty much everything that you need. Everything from KVPY to your NTSC, all of the things that you need, everything would be covered in this one umbrella itself. The link is given in the description, guys. You can check the link out. And unfortunately, my internet is not working, so I can't show it to you guys. So this is what you have, guys. So you have 3 different courses offered at Vedantu. You have Vedantu Lite, Vedantu Pro, and Vedantu Classic. So Vedantu Lite has everything that you need. You have live interactive sessions, test series and assignments, notes, doubt solving inside the class, but there's no doubt solving outside the class. All right. So here's the thing, guys. The 1-month program is 3,400 rupees. But if you click on that link that is given in the description, so what you do is click on description, go to show more, you'll be able to see subscribe to Vedantu Pro right now. All you have to do is that click on that one link and that link will take you to everything. Automatically a 10% discount would be added and the price would immediately drop down. Even for the long-term course, that is for the year-long course also, it will drop down from 30,000 to somewhere around 27,000. And if you go for Classic, guys, once again in Classic also, so this is the 1-month program, so the price would drop down a little. So if you go for the Classic, the thing about Classic is that you will have doubt solving outside the session also. So you'll have the Vedantu app where you can get your doubts cleared outside the class also. So that is one advantage about Classic. So here again, you get everything else. Apart from that, you also get this extra advantage as well. So with that, the 1-month program is 4,300 rupees and the complete course is 38,999 rupees. And for the plus, again, guys, here you also get the personal mentor who will ensure that you have one-to-one sessions. He'll guide you. He will, make sure that you have motivational sessions. He'll make sure that you're on the right track. That is the work of the personal mentor. He'll also be there with you in Vedantu Pro Plus, where the price would for that is around 6,200 rupees and the year-long program is 55,990 rupees. Again, guys, you're getting a personal teacher over there, a personal teacher to ensure that all of your doubts are cleared right there and then. Now again, guys, this is the course, but then again, guys, you have unlimited micro courses also on top of all of this. And like I told you, you have the Vedantu Improvement Promise as well. So if I say, for example, we'll talk about the Lite, guys. So Lite, the course price would drop down to around 2,360 rupees. So let's take it as 2,400 rupees. All right. Now you're getting all 6 subjects for this. All right. You're getting all the 6 subjects you have. Chemistry, bio, math, physics, English, as well as social science. So all 6 subjects is what you're getting. So if you calculate it, guys, it's roughly about 400 rupees. That is all you're paying. 400 rupees per subject is what you're paying. Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys who are going for tuitions would also be paying so much per subject, or maybe a little bit more than that, maybe around 500 rupees for that. With all of these, guys, you also have unlimited micro courses as well. So you're basically getting everything in one place. All right. And also you can take up the Vedantu Improvement Promise, where it tells you that if you feel like there's no improvement, you can also get the money back. All right. That's it, people. So the link is given in the description. These are the dates of the batch are starting. You can also take a screenshot of this one. Let's get into the next quiz time, people, and solve some more quiz questions and see what we have in store for us. The first question is this. Which of the following describes resistors connected in parallel? Resistors connected end-to-end, resistors that aren't in the same circuit, resistors connected across from one another, or none of the above. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, option number C, people. It is not end-to-end, that would be series, but if it's connected across one another, that is your parallel connection. Next one. What resistance X in parallel with resistances 100 ohms and 200 ohms gives an equivalent resistance of 50 ohms? Options: 100 ohms, 200 ohms, either 100 or 200, or can't see. Start solving this question right away and let me know what is the answer in the comment section. Let's see how to solve this, guys. So here's the thing. They're asking you, there are two resistors which are connected in parallel. So 1 by 100, because R equivalent is equal to what? 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 is the formula, right? So 1 by 100 divided by 1 by 200 plus 1 by X is equal to 1 by 50. The equivalent resistance is given as 50 ohms. So they've already given you the equivalent resistance, which is nothing but 1 by 50. They're asking you what is the value of X such a way that you're going to get equivalent resistance 50 ohms. Alright. So how do you solve this? First of all, find out the LC for this one, which is nothing but 200. So into 2 into 2. So what will you get? 2 plus 1 divided by 200 plus 1 by X is equal to 1 by 50. So now what do you get? 3 by 200 is equal to plus 1 by X is equal to 1 by 50. Now what is 1 by X is equal to? Take this to the other side. 1 by 50 minus 3 by 200. Now into 4 LCM again. So we'll get 4 minus 3 divided by 200. So what will you get? 1 by X is equal to 1 by 200. So what is X equal to? 200 ohms, reciprocal of that. That's all. Simple, guys. So the answer to this question, X has to be 200 ohms in order for you to get the equivalent resistance, 250 ohms. Alright, that's it. Last question, guys. Here's another one for you guys. A wire of resistance R1 is cut into 5 equal pieces. Alright, one wire is cut into 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last one is not existing. Alright. This is imaginary. The line itself vanished. Alright, now you imagine that no wire is cut into 5 equal halves. The five pieces of wire are then connected in parallel to one another. So once you cut them in, cut them into equal lengths, you're connecting them in parallel to each other. If the resultant resistance of the combination is R2, then what is the ratio of R1 by R2? Amazing question. 1 by 25, 1 by 5, 25 or 5 ohms. Let's say this, guys. So the total resistance of the wire, the total resistance is given as R1. That is the resistance. Now if you cut them into 5 parts, what would be the resistance of each wire? Each wire, what is the resistance of that? It will be R1 divided by 5. Why? Because R1 is the total resistance. You're dividing them into 5 equal parts. So what is the resistance of each and every wire? It will be R1 by 5. Simple. So you'll get that. So because it's divided into 5 equal parts, the resistance of each wire is R1 by 5. Simple. Now, they're asking you to find out what would happen if you connect them in parallel. So if you connect them in parallel, guys, what will be R equivalent? It will be 1 by R1 plus 1 by R1 plus 1 by R1 plus 1 by R1 plus 1 by R1, because the resistance is the same. So and what is R1? R1 is nothing but R1 by 5. Each resistance is R1 by 5. So what will you get? 1 by R1 by 5 plus 1 by R1 plus 5 by 5 plus 1 by R1 plus by 5 plus 1 by R1 plus 5 by 5 plus 1 by R1 by 5. And take 5 to the numerator, what will you get? So 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 divided by R1, because that will go to the numerator and this will stay in the denominator. So what will you get? That is nothing but equal to 25 divided by R1. This is 1 by R equivalent. R equivalent is what? Is nothing but R2, right? So instead of writing it as R equivalent, let me write it as R2, because that is the resistance in parallel. They're telling you that the resultant resistance of combinations R2 when they connected them in parallel. So R2, so 1 by R2 is equal to 25 by R1. So R1 divided by R2 is how much? 25. That's always simple as that. One of the most interesting questions that you'll ever see. And that, my friends, is the right answer for this question. I hope you understood this. That's all, guys. This is your homework for today. Find the current drawn from the battery by a network of 4 resistors shown in the figure. It is connected to a 3-volt battery. There are 4 resistors connected. 4 resistors connected in the form of a network. Find out what is the current flowing through it. Find out the equivalent resistance. Use Ohm's law to find out the current. Let me know what is the answer in the comment section. This question was asked in 2015 board exam, so it's a very important one. Let me know what is the answer in the comment section. All right. So that's it, people. That is all for today. Thank you for joining. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until the next time we meet, this is Arnab signing off for the day. Have a great evening ahead. Take care. Adios, people.